What if I told you there was an animal that could live for centuries without aging? A creature so bizarre it defied early scientists' understanding of evolution itself? And what if one of the most resilient animals on Earth looked like it crawled? Straight out of a horror film. Asterisk welcome to the Silent Science. Tonight we're diving deep into the shadows, under the sea, into the tangled roots of forgotten forests, into the world of asterisk animal oddities, the weird and wonderful. This isn't your average nature documentary. This is where biology meets science fiction, where the laws of survival are rewritten by creatures that shouldn't exist, but do not. So, are you ready to meet the strangest beings our planet has ever evolved? A tiny jellyfish, barely the size of your fingernail, drifting through warm ocean. Currents dot, it pulses gently, unaware that it holds one of the greatest secrets in the natural world, because this jellyfish doesn't die. Asterisk, that's right. Tortopsis dorni, known as the immortal jellyfish, can reverse its life cycle. When faced with stress, starvation, or physical damage, it transforms back into a juvenile polyp stage, essentially cheating. Death. Asterisk. Now, ask yourself, if evolution designed immortality, why didn't it stick around more often? Why don't all species have this power? According to research published in Marine Biology, this ability comes at a cost. Reversing the life cycle requires immense energy, and in the wild, few individuals actually survive long enough to use it. Still, the implications are staggering. Scientists from the University of Oviedo have been studying Tortopsis for over 2 decades, hoping to uncover genetic clues that might one day help us slow aging or even reverse it in humans. Asterisk. But here's the twist. Even though it can theoretically live forever, Tortopsis rarely does. Predators, pollution, environmental shifts, nature still finds a way. So is true immortality possible? Or is this just another evolutionary experiment, one that never quite made it past the lab? Asterisk, the Starnus mole condylora. CRISTATA dot asterisk. Now let's go beneath the surface dash literally dot imagine living in total darkness, surrounded by damp earth and twisting roots dot no light, no sound, just the feel of every inch of soil around you dot in this world. Touch becomes everything dot. Yes. That nose really looks like a star dot 22 fleshy tendrils that move independently, scanning the ground faster than any eye could blink. According to Science magazine, these molds can identify prey and eat it in under half a second. They process sensory information so fast. They've been called the fastest eating mammal on Earth, but here's the real question. Why would evolution favor such a bizarre adaptation? Asterisk, the answer lies in efficiency. These moles live in wetland burrows where oxygen is scarce. Every second counts. Every calorie matters. Their star-shaped nose allows them to rapidly detect edible insects, reducing time spent searching and increasing survival chances. Asterisk, think about it. We rely on sight, sound, and smell. But this mole? It lives entirely by touch. A world without vision-only sensation. Isn't that a reminder that survival isn't always about being the biggest, fastest, or loudest? Sometimes it's about being the most finely tuned to your environment. The axolotl, Ambystoma mexicanum asterisk. Meet the axolotl. Native to Mexico. This little guy stays aquatic his whole life. He keeps his gills, remains in water, and never undergoes full metamorphosis. But that's not what makes him strange. What makes him extraordinary? His ability to regenerate nearly anything: limbs, heart, spinal cord, even parts of the brain with perfect precision. Asterisk, in fact. Axolotls can regrow limbs without scarring. Perfect nerves, perfect tissue. Something humans can only dream of. As reported by Nature Communications, researchers are now using CRISPR gene editing to study how axolotls activate regeneration genes. Could this someday lead to human limb regeneration? But here's the dark side. Axolotls are critically endangered in the wild due to habitat loss and invasive species. Ironically, while we race to unlock their biological secrets, we're letting them vanish from the very ecosystems that birthed them. Is it too late? Or can we learn from the axolotl not just scientifically but ecologically? The glass frog Centralinidae family. Have you ever seen a frog whose heart beats visibly through its skin? Welcome to the world of glass frogs, creatures so transparent. They seem like nature's own ghosts. Found in Central and South American rainforests, these frogs have translucent skin, allowing you to see their beating hearts, veins, and even internal organs. But why evolve transparency? Asterisk, it's not for beauty. It's for survival. Their camouflage is so effective. Predators often look right past them, even when they're staring directly at them. As noted in biology letters, glass frogs blend into leaf surfaces by matching the green hues and minimizing shadow contrast. But here's the twist. Even with this near-perfect invisibility, they're still vulnerable to climate change and deforestation. Their survival depends on stable microclimates, humidity, temperature, and canopy cover. So what happens when those conditions disappear? Do we lose more than just a species? Or do we lose a window into nature's hidden genius? The saiga antelope, Saiga tatarica. Now imagine a creature that looks like it wandered out of a cartoon, with a comically large nose and a face that screams. What am I doing here? This is the saiga antelope. Native to Central Asia's vast steppes, the saiga has survived ice ages, pandemics, and mass migrations across open plains. But today, it faces a new kind of threat. Asterisk, poaching, habitat loss, climate change. Once numbering in the millions, saigas now hover near extinction. Yet, their strange nose isn't just for show. It acts as a filter, warming cold air before it reaches the lungs and cooling hot air during summer dust. Storms. It's a biological marvel evolved for extremes. According to BBC Wildlife, conservationists are now using satellite tracking and community-led programs to protect remaining herds. But will it be enough? And what does it say about us when we allow a species that outlived dinosaurs to vanish in a generation? The leafy sea dragon, Phycodorus equus. Let's return to the ocean, where disguise becomes art. Say hello to the leafy sea dragon, a seahorse relative that looks like floating seaweed. Its body is covered in delicate, leaf-like appendages that make it almost invisible among kelp beds. Asterisk, but unlike other camouflage creatures, the leafy sea dragon doesn't hunt aggressively. It drifts. It floats. It waits. And yet, despite its beauty, it's incredibly fragile. Studies from Australian Geographic show that leafy sea dragons are highly sensitive to pollution and ocean acidification. Their survival hinges on clean waters and healthy marine ecosystems. So next time you admire their elegance, remember, you're looking at a creature that thrives only in balance. Disrupt that balance, and the dance of the sea dragon ends. The naked mole rat, Heterocephalus glaber asterisk, last but certainly not least. The naked mole rat, ugly, maybe unremarkable? Far from it. This wrinkled, toothy rodent lives in colonies like ants or bees and can survive without oxygen for up to 18 minutes. Slight pause. 18 minutes without breathing. How? According to Cell Reports, naked mole rats switch to a fructose-based metabolism when oxygen runs low, something unheard of. In mammals. They also don't feel pain the same way we do. They're immune to certain types of cancer, and some individuals can live over 30 years, 10 times longer than mice. Asterisk. Here's the big question. If these rats evolved such resilience, why aren't we more like them? Perhaps because evolution favors what works in the moment, not necessarily what lasts. Naked mole rats are built for the underground. for darkness, for heat, for scarcity dot, and in their own weird, wrinkly way. They are perfection, asterisk tonight we traveled. Through time, terrain, and biology, we met creatures that defy logic, rewrite rules, and remind us just how vast the spectrum of life truly is. From the immortal jellyfish to the star-nosed mole, from the axolotl's healing powers to the Sagas's ancient gaze, we saw survival in forms we rarely consider, and yet many of these species teeter on the edge of extinction, not because they're weak, but because we failed to protect the world that shaped them. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just watch, don't just marvel. Act. Support conservation efforts. Educate others. Share these stories, because in every oddity, there's a message, a lesson. A warning, and maybe, just maybe, a blueprint for how to survive in a changing world. Thank you for joining me tonight. If this journey stirred something in you, leave a comment below. Tell me which animal surprised you the most. Where in the world are you listening from? Asterisk. And if you enjoyed this episode of Fizzle and Science, please hit that subscribe button.